Let me show you how I am currently creating offers that are selling without a sales call and without launches, using simple Google Docs at prices that are $500, $1,000, $6,000, $9,000, and even $18,000. Right? I want to show you how I'm doing that. I want to walk you through the framework that we use to engineer these premium offers that are selling without all the fake scarcity, urgency, and that nonsense, and without having to get on a phone call with people. Right now, I'm going to show you how to do it without getting on the phone call. The lesson here is that if you can create an offer that's good enough for someone to say yes to, just seeing it in a Google Doc, and if you can then like present that offer to a tailored set of problems on a call, like it's obviously going to work in that context as well. So if it's good enough to convert in a Google Doc, it'll work on a call. So let me show you how to do the Google Doc version, and then whether you want to use the Google Doc to sell without the phone or whether you want to sell on the phone, you'll be able to use both. Okay. So here is an example of one of these such offers. This is for my program, one of my programs, invitation only program called the Chamber. Which is a year-long coaching program, right? As you can see, here's the offer. It's really simple. It's a 4-page Google Doc, and this is consistently getting people to join this $18,000 a year coaching program. And we're getting people consistently saying, yes, I would like to join from this Google Doc, right? How is that possible? You're not supposed to be able to sell expensive things without a phone call. This doc does exactly that. Here's another Google Doc for another offer of mine for a program that's 6K. And as you'll see here, very similar 4-page doc. And this consistently has been selling people without a phone call into a 6K program. And it's not just me, right? I have clients as well that are consistently using this sort of engineered offer to convert into offers that are 12K, that are at 7.5K, 9K, 5.5K, 5K, and a bunch of people doing it at $1,000 and $2,000 and less, right? Like there's some people selling offers at $500, right? The framework behind all of these is letting people sell those offers without a sales call, right? Without launches either, right? Obviously, I'm a big person that doesn't want to be relying on launches. Launches are great. Again, launch is like an amplifier, like the sales call, right? If you can get it to convert without a launch, without a sales call, these same offers will obviously work with those two things as well. So how are we doing it, right? What is going on behind the scenes that allows myself and my clients to convert people into these offers and sell millions of dollars worth of stuff without sales calls and launches? I want to share the model that we use to kind of show you the levers that you can pull to amplify the potency of your offer and to make it easier for people to say yes. Okay. So we use the conversion engineering model, which is this 3-part cube. You can see it's a cube with 3 dimensions. The 3 dimensions are flow, which is all about how you get more traffic, more leads into your world. Conversation, which is about how you have conversations with those people to qualify and convert them and to see who is ripe for an offer. And then product, which is what your product is going to be and how you get people to say yes to it, right? And the product dimension of the cube here is what we're going to dive into because that's what your offer is related to. Okay, so if we blow out, let's just say we're going to examine this cube a little more, and we're going to blow out the product cube here, which is one dimension of the model, and it's everything that's kind of represented here on this face of the model. Now, the product cube tells you that if you're trying to get more yeses, right, you got to have 3 elements to focus on. Okay. What are the 3 elements if you want more people to be saying yes to your product? The first, and in this context, your product is going to be your course, coaching program, membership site, etc. Right? The first of these is what we call your offering, which is what we're going to dive into here. This is the thing that you're going to be putting in front of people and trying to get them to say yes. That Google Doc I just showed you, that's an offering. Okay. At the same time, the other element we have to have is messaging. Messaging is what you're putting out into the marketplace to get people interested in you, your approach, your way of doing things, your unique selling proposition. It's what gets people paying attention and listening to what you have because it's relevant and interesting to solving their problems and leaning in. And then you have got someone to make an offer to. Now, there's one of the key elements here as well on your product cube, which is your sequencing. And your sequencing is how you put offers in a row to make it easy for someone to get started and then to accelerate their progress into your world. So you turn a stranger into a student quickly. And then once you've turned them into a student, that you accelerate their lifetime value to turn them into a high value student and client. Okay. This is the 3 dimensions of the product cube. And what I really want to show you is what we call offer engineering, which is where we double click in and we really look at the offering side of the product cube. Okay. Now, the offering side of the product cube says that if you're trying to improve your offering, if you're trying to have a stronger offer, there's 3 dimensions again that we need to look at. Okay. The first of these is your product. Obviously, you need a good product. There are ways you can improve your product to get better results for people, make it more consistently reliable to produce that result. That's fairly like, duh, Captain Obvious. But if you have a good product that's able to produce a result quickly, that would make your offer much more compelling because you can promise a smaller result faster, right? People want speed. I would much rather get something that works in the next week or 2 and then grow from there rather than following someone and thinking like, if you just stick with me for like 14 years, we'll get this massive result, right? People want proof of concept and to accelerate. They don't necessarily want to wait a long time for a potential payoff that may or may not come. Now, if you're here, you're going to assume that you already have a product and you want to get more yeses without having to change the product, right? Changing the product's expensive, takes time and whatnot, right? What if there's a way for us to just change the way that we're explaining the value of the product, of your program, of your course, and get more yeses without really having to change what's on the inside, right? That is absolutely possible. We do it with our clients all the time. In fact, it's the easiest way to get more yeses is just change the value articulation of what you're doing, right? Now, there's 2 tools, there's 2 dimensions of your offering, right, that you can use to do exactly that. The first is your promise, right? We have a very particular way that we teach you to do promises. And if you are able to craft a compelling, specific, relevant, credible promise, it's just going to amplify the number of people who are interested in your thing and the number of your yeses you're able to get dramatically, right? Oftentimes people think about promises the wrong way. And when you apply promises the way I show you how to do it, it makes people feel far more convinced that they're actually going to get the outcome that you're promising them, right? Because you're tackling it from a point of credibility, not from a hype-based huge claim, but rather a specific tangible outcome that is believable that it will be accomplished, right? Very different game to be played, but it makes a huge difference. But that's a huge lever in amplifying your offering. If you want to get more yeses, you got to clarify the promise in a number of dimensions, and I can show you how to do that here momentarily. Now, the last way you can get more yeses is what we call your proposition. The best way to think about the proposition is what we call the deal. What is the way that you are suggesting to someone that you do business with them and say, hey, if you want this promise, you can get it by getting this product under these terms. It costs this much. Here's the payment plan. Here's the duration of the payment plan. Here's the frequency. Here are the bonuses you get. I'm going to give you this specific guarantee. I'm going to give you favorable terms on this conditional yada, yada, yadas, right? Here's how the timing of this will work. Reason to get started now. There's all of these levers, right? Those are just a couple of examples I just shared right now. These are all the levers of your proposition, and there are many of them, right? And if you have a very, very clear promise, right, and a good product, and you're not getting enough yeses, it might be because we need to do some work on your proposition. How can we articulate the offering in a way so that it feels like the other person is getting a deal? It's easy to get started. There's low risk. And they almost feel like you're an idiot, right? You're an idiot for giving a deal this good. Like they're the one that's coming out on top. I would be stupid. It's a no-brainer offer, right? Like we hear that example or that language a lot, no-brainer. And what the person is saying when they say no-brainer offer is you have stacked the proposition in my favor that I would be foolish to say no, right? These are the 3 dimensions of a killer offering, right? And if you play with them correctly, and if you know where the problem is in your offering, and we can like specifically diagnose it and deploy the tool sets that I'm going to show you to make your product more appealing and better at delivering a product or an outcome, get clear and specific and credible in your promise, and then play with your proposition, what you'll find very quickly is you're going to get a huge increase in the number of yeses that you're getting for every offer that you're putting in front of people. And so that's exactly what we do here in this offer that I have right in front of me, right? And this was created with the process that I've just outlined for you called offer engineering, where we have gotten hyper focused on the product, the promise, and the proposition, and how we assemble all 3 of those in order for you to get a yes from your market. Now, I'm just going to say it, right? One of my favorite teachers is a guy called Perry Marshall, right? And he said, there are different grades of work that you can do. There's $5 an hour work, there's $10 an hour work, there's $100 an hour work, there's $1,000 an hour work, and then there's $10,000 an hour work. And working on your offer is $10,000 an hour work. If you haven't got a good offer, everything feels like an uphill battle. But if you've engineered your offer to win in the marketplace, everything is so much easier. So I want to make an offer to you to help you engineer your offer to make sure that it is as competitive and as razor sharp as possible, so the rest of your marketing plays out with way more reward for way less effort. If you go below this video, you're going to see details of the special offer that I'm making to you on this page. This is an offer that I've engineered just for you. Now, I've never released the offer engineering product before. This is the first time I'm releasing it. But this is probably the longest running, most well-refined piece of intellectual property and system I have got, right? I have been working on offers and unique selling propositions for over a decade now. Unique selling propositions were the first specialty I developed back in my copywriting days. And that unique selling proposition skill set has turned into this process of offer engineering, which is how you can create these super compelling offers that are really easy to say yes to and the people want to buy. Okay. Now, as you'll see, if you go below, you're going to get access to a number of things. I'm just going to walk you through it right here. So the offer engineering product will get you access to this. And when you come in here, there's a few things that you'll see. Obviously, you'll get in and you will get a welcome. You will get a free accelerator call with me where I am going to actually have a quick 15-minute diagnostic call with you to understand what you're working on, who your offer is, what your market is, and then see where the likely bottlenecks are. So I can tell you, you know what, you should use this offer structure or check out these key principles, right? Or here's a way that you can get more yeses from your existing offer, right? It's a way for me to understand where you're at and then prescribe exactly where you want to go. Okay. There's also the key training, right? There's going to be 3-4 videos in here that are the core training for understanding where your offer fits, the key components that go into an offer and understanding those very specifically. And then I'm going to show you the offer doc structure, right? Which is the high level structure for how you can assemble your own offer doc and sell it with a simple Google Doc. So you don't have to get on the phone if you don't want to, right? If you do want to get in the phone, this same offer structure is the one that I use on the phone to sell and convert people at like 80-90% on my sales calls. But we're moving away from selling on the phone here. Conversion engineering, we still do a little bit of it, but my goal is to sell without the phone. And I've consistently done that at various price points. And we're now doing it, selling an $18,000 offer without sales calls, and you will get access to that doc, right? I'm going to walk you through the Chamber offer doc here, which is a template for an $18,000 offer premium coaching program. And I will show you this underlying psychology and levers that we're using in that doc to get people to say yes to us without a sales call, right? In addition to that, I'm also going to show you probably the highest converting template that we have got here, which is one that I've used for multiple offers. This is one that I'm using for one of the offers that's not my own. I got permission to share one of my clients' offers, and this is for an offer that was for $5,500 and it sold over $500,000. So over 100 and like, I think it's actually over $550,000, but I'm being conservative saying it's 500,000. I'm very confident it's over 500,000. And it did it consistently without the phone. The person who was selling this offer was selling it on the phone, and then they were just sick to death, being blue in the face of doing that, and they wanted to sell it without the phone. So we created this offer doc, and they were reliably able to sell it at a higher conversion than with the phone, without having to get on the phone and without having to run high pressure, scarcity based launches, right? And so that's what you're going to get. I'm also going to walk you through the key principles for your offer. So you'll get the key components, what you need to put in your offer for it to convert. And then I'm going to show you key principles, which is also part of the core training here, right? Which is how to think about making it easy to say yes to your offer, how to amplify the value. There's tons of training in there. And with just one of these offers, you will be able to probably sell a high ticket thing if you don't already have it, or do a better job converting people into an offer that you already have, right? So this is a super compressed, high value training, right? With templates that are active and working in the marketplace right now, right? These are like the offer docs I'm sharing you, the ones that I'm using in my own business as we speak, right? All working, all converting, all proven, swipeable templates, along with training to show you how to swipe them ethically, right? I'm going to show you how to swipe the structure, maybe a couple of lines here and there to make the offers your own. Okay. You can get all of this for just $100, right? It's a special launch price as part of putting this out there, and you can get it for $100. It's normally going to be a $500 program, probably more expensive, right? I'm putting this out after this launches at $500. It's probably going to go up to even more than that, because the value in this offer training is ridiculous, right? You are getting the full system that I give my clients when they come in. They regularly apply this, and they do an enrollment, and we're talking like consistently doing 20, 30, 50, sometimes 80, 100 grand from a single enrollment with just an offer doc, no sales calls, no launches, right? The values, I can't promise that you will get that, because I don't know what you've got in place. I'm just sharing some of the results that my clients have seen and the sort of value that you can expect from inside in this. So I'm saying this is probably the most valuable training I've ever created. And if you apply it and get an offer that works, like, you will easily make the investment of $100 back, no problem. So go below this video, check it out. There might be a few additional bonuses that I'm going to add as part of the launch campaign. You can check those below as well, but check it out. This is an offer that I think if you are interested in amplifying the value of your offer and getting more yeses, it should be a no-brainer. That's up to you to decide. So go below, have a read, and if you join, I can't wait to see you on the other side.